Hey, Scruffy. Okay, finally meowed. So, I was out watering the garden today. He saw me, I saw him, but yeah, he didn't like me being out there. So I have your hearty cuts. You're hiding behind the chair again. So it's a real chicken and beef, and you have actually quite a bit more tonight because I actually put less in last night since you had the chicken skin and bone. So you actually look like you have a lot of food and divvy it out to evenly. Okay, well, I'm going to come out since I can't see you. Okay. So I'm going to try to walk past you. No, you're cutting me off, huh? Okay, I'm going to put the food on the table then. And I guess I won't go down to your level. I'll just grab the glove. Then I need a moment to get it on. It's hard to do it one-handed. Okay. You're in the nook. So you want the pets now. So yeah, I came out today, and he didn't really have anything to do with me. Typical. But yeah, now he's all friendly. Only at dinner time. So let's see, did I get any? I can't remember. So when I came out at lunch to bring out his water, he wasn't around. So yeah, so I don't have any interesting footage of that. So I did decide to take that thermal blanket that I bought him a year ago. I'd been keeping it in the carrier, hoping he'd eventually take refuge in the carrier since it had a nice thermal blanket in there. And I was putting food in there for a while, but I stopped that since it didn't seem to be helping. He'd go in there and then immediately leave once the food was eaten. He never seemed to get used to it. So anyway, I kept the thermal blanket in the carrier for all this time, and I decided to take the thermal blanket out and just put it on the big table by itself and see maybe if he'll eventually stumble upon it and discover it's actually a nice blanket. And then I put an old hand towel in the carrier, which I have seen him sleep on before. So maybe he likes the hand towel more, so maybe he'll go into the carrier. Likes the rubs tonight. So yeah, last night he wasn't really too engaged. So this afternoon, mid-afternoon, actually, early mid-afternoon, I decided I couldn't put off watering the garden anymore, and I had a little bit of time today. So I was thinking about going grocery shopping, but figured I needed to water the garden, and I don't need. I can put off grocery shopping for probably a few more days at least. I'm just more worried about the crowds and holiday craziness and stuff like that. So anyway, so I came out and I didn't bring out my camera, so I don't have any footage, but I saw Scruffy sleeping under the round table. I was in the garden already with the hose. Actually, no, sorry. I was here to turn on the spigot, and that's when I saw him, but and he was kind of defensive. He didn't like me being out here, but I don't walk near the round table to get into the garden, so I wasn't going to be any closer to him. So I went into the garden, which doesn't get near him, and so I was able to see him from the garden. He's still hiding under the round table. He backed off a little bit, get a little more distance, and he watched me water for a while. So he didn't completely run. And I guess it's somewhat of progress because he was maybe 50 feet from me instead of 100 feet, or 80 feet, or whatever it is. So usually he likes to be much further away. But yeah, he actually watched me, or actually no, he sat there. He didn't actually watch me. He turned his back to me. So I'm not sure what that means. He was sitting, and his back was turned to me. So maybe he didn't find me that interesting after all. So I continued watering for a while, and I tried talking to him, and he just ignored me. And then as I moved around the garden to water different parts, I ended up near the edge where the step is, where he's been sleeping recently, the past few days. And he decided to eventually walk kind of in that direction so he could still see me. And he was looking at me as I continued to water, and then I start talking to him again. And then he seemed to get annoyed, and then he just walked off into the distance. And then, yeah, I lost sight of him. Don't know where he went. And then he came back a little bit later. But I was getting near the edge of the step because there were a couple plants on the deck, so I was going to water them. And then as he saw me starting to water those, he turned around and left again, and that was the last I saw of him. I think he actually may have left the premises. I don't know for sure. But unfortunately for him, I was watering the whole garden today, so that meant both the front and the back. So if he was hoping to find refuge in the front, yeah, he wasn't going to get any. But when I went out in the front, I didn't see him. So I don't actually know where he went. So I was actually a little worried tonight that I might not see him at dinner time, because in the past, when he hasn't shown up, there are a couple occasions where I think I had just watered, and I think my theory was that he may have been in the front, and the little hole under the fence that he uses to get in and out of the yard fills up with water when I water that area, and so you might not want to get muddy, and so it may cut him off from coming here. So I wasn't sure if he was actually going to be here tonight. Though that was 3-4 hours ago, so it's not water. It shouldn't be flooded with water anymore. It's just muddy. But he's here. So yeah, I tried to give the garden a good watering. You can see some of the plants are struggling. I was hoping the rain that we've gotten recently would be enough, but I don't think it was. That's why I needed the water. So I haven't watered, I think, in like a month or maybe a little more, because I've been busy, plus I was kind of hoping that the rain would take care of it, but I don't think it did. Because, yeah, I'm seeing some browning on some of the other plants. And coincidentally, I just got a flyer in the mail that, yeah, they're increasing the water rationing. So, not good. So, I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to cut yet. So they're basing it on, I think, rates from 2 years ago. So our water usage was much higher since my dad was still here, and we had in-care or in-home caregiver help. So we had a caregiver living here full-time with us to help, because I couldn't do it myself. It's just, it's too much for me. I'm not trained or qualified. I did as much as I could, but yeah, I really needed professional help. But yeah, apparently they liked having me here, because it's actually a lot of work just for one person, even a professional. So they said, yeah, I really made things much better being here. Okay, I think you're ready for food, huh? And the truth is, yeah, we've always been pretty conservative with the water here. So there are big, giant droughts we've been through for many times. So I remember there was something like a 7-year drought many years ago, and after that drought, that was like the first major drought we went through, and because it was so long, just water usage changed here in this whole entire region forever, just because it was so severe and so long. It just, everyone had to change the way people think about water. But the problem is that they're trying to squeeze a rock now, because they're making us cut, but there's nothing left to cut, because we did all the major cuts decades ago. And majority of water use, if you do look at the numbers, it's like, I think it's less than 10%. I think it's like closer to 5% residential, and everything else is like agriculture and industrial use. But they're cracking down on residential, which basically they want to try to get the 5% to cut to make up for the 95% of the rest of the region. And it's like, no, that doesn't work. Your math you failed math. It doesn't work. But it's politicians for you. So anyway, so they're going to turn the screws to us. But so basically it actually disincentivizes anyone from conserving water in normal times, because now when they do this stupid thing like, oh yeah, we're going to penalize you if you don't cut based on your previous rate, which in quote unquote better times. Well, if you were conserving water in the better times just because you're a conscientious citizen or whatever, or you just don't like wasting water, it's like, okay, well, I've used what I need, but now you're telling me to cut what I need. I don't have anything left to cut. And so basically it makes sense to jack up your water usage rate when you're not looking, so next time they ration, you cut from the high number. It's basically the same game politicians play with spending. And I think the joke is, we're gonna cut our budget. We're only gonna buy 300 tanks this quarter. Well, how's that a cut? Well, we're planning to buy 600. But you only bought 100 last year. Still cut. How so? Because we were going to buy 600. Can't you do math? So, yeah. So anyway, and yeah, and I'd probably been cutting too much water because I haven't been watering the garden enough. Because I've been doing it. So I think, yeah, it's been over a month since last time. And yeah, I should be watering it probably a couple times a week. So most of our plants are drought resistant. Actually, they all are, just different degrees of it. So yeah, a long time ago we had a lawn, but yeah, it died in that first big long drought. And then basically much of this region, definitely like this entire neighborhood, there's like almost no lawns anymore because everyone learned long ago that, yeah, that's not water conservation friendly plants, and nobody has lawns anymore. So yeah, it's ridiculous that they're trying to get us residential people to cut when all the water usage is everywhere else. And then it's also their policies that have caused shortages because they basically don't build any new infrastructure. So you get more people, more usage, but you don't build anything. And then, we're in a drought-prone region. You should know that, but they always base their estimates on the most ideal cases and never the realistic cases. So anyway, after I finished watering, I have a fence problem again. So the gate, I keep having to fix the latch. So once again, the screws that hold the latch into the fence, they got stripped out again, and the latch is falling off. So so I cracked out the wood filler again and tried filling the screw hole again, and I have to wait for it to harden, and then re-drill the hole so I get the screw in there and see if the latch holds. I don't think this is working, so I think at some point I'm going to have to figure out there's a better latching mechanism or a better type of screw or something that doesn't strip out. I think part of the problem is the fence has gotten wobbly, and the posts may actually need to be redone, but I think you need concrete for that. You probably have to get professional help for that, and not suit it to do that by myself. But yeah, because it's wobbly, I think it's putting extra strain on the latch, and it's extra torque, and it's causing the screws to strip out of the fence. So either maybe I need a different type of screw or a different type of latch, or so this one only has 2 screws. Maybe I need to get one that has 4 or something like that. So I probably need to start doing some research on that. But for now, I'm just going to try to fix what I have. So after I finished watering, I went for a walk. I was kind of debating. I was feeling my leg kind of twinge a little bit, so probably shouldn't have gone, but yeah, I've been really stressed for about the last week or so. Yesterday in particular, I just really needed to detox, and today I felt like I still really needed to continue detoxing, so decided to go for a walk again. But yeah, this time, I was feeling a little bit of twinge in my legs, so I only did 2 laps, and I took a slight shortcut on the last lap, so it wasn't a full lap. But yeah, the weather is basically like yesterday, so it didn't heat up. They keep saying it's going to heat up, but yeah, it's staying the same. So I think we did get a little more sun today, so I don't think it was. I think it was a little tiny bit warmer today, but yeah, it was kind of indistinguishable. Like, you know, they're predicting like another 10 degrees, and we're nowhere near that. And I checked the weather report, and they're still saying that, so maybe tomorrow, who knows. So I didn't see that many people out. I saw one of the twin cats, the black cat with the white feet, and the white spot like on the chest. It's almost like a bib or a scarf, really, now I think about it. So anyway, I was hanging out in the middle of the field again, really far from people. I was actually noticing, yeah, there are much better places where the squirrels hang out, and so I don't know, does he like sit there to get squirrels or some other animal, or just like hanging out in the field? Maybe like eating grass, I don't know. But yeah, there are a couple of different areas that are just squirrels everywhere, but where that cat was hanging out, I don't think that's one of them. And this time this cat was kind of in between where I've seen the 2 cats, so I've started making a mental picture that I think one of the twins takes like one section of the park, and then the next one is like one section over. And today, yeah, the cat was kind of in the middle between the 2 sections. I wasn't sure which of the twins this was. So Scruffy didn't clean his bowl. I'm going to take the balls out. Nope, I don't think he wants the food. So taking the balls out, there's more kibble in there. He's thinking about it. But yeah, he might have hit his limit. Yeah, gave him too much food. So yeah, there's a little bit of stuff there. Because yeah, as I said, I put in a little less last night because I had the chicken skin and bone for him. And so I put in the remainder tonight. And yeah, I think I didn't divvy it up quite evenly, even beforehand. And so there's even a little more in there. So I'm gonna come back. Like, oh, all right, I'll eat more. The burdens you place on me, making me eat more. So tomorrow will be a new can. I think it will be the Super Supper meaty pate. So I think I'm starting to get down to the last third of the pack, so I'm gonna have to start looking at getting more cat food soon. I wouldn't say soon, but I should start thinking about it since I'm so slow at actually doing these things, and I have to buy. Have to get shipped. Okay, it's taken off. Okay, folks. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.